Where Senator Roy Blunt joins us now. He was responsible for helping organize these inaugural events today. Senator, thank you for joining us. Seemed to go off without a hitch.
Well, it did, George, and there were plenty of curves along the way. We had a great staff, great outside partners, our security partners, the architect of the Capitol and his team. But I think there was a great sense, most importantly, shared by the president-elect, now President Biden, that we be outside, that we do this where people expected to see it done, and it was going to be dramatically different because of COVID. As it turned out, it felt dramatically different because of the events of 2 weeks ago as well, but it was done, and I think people, as they watched it all over the world, saw that the American democracy can be fragile at moments, but it's resilient and tough, and we get there and we do things where we intend to do them and when we intend to do them.
The president said in his inaugural address, our democracy was tested, but our democracy prevailed. What struck out to you in his inaugural address? What are you going to hang on to?
You know, I think generally just the tone that Joe Biden has always brought to relationships. He knows a lot of people in the Congress well. That was largely today a congressional crowd. You had the members of the current Congress. The second biggest group was retired members who also all got a couple of tickets if they chose to use them. And so there was a connectedness there that you would almost never see. We didn't have the lunch that we normally have at lunch because of COVID. We didn't have that lunch that we normally have right after the inauguration. But when I was talking to the vice president and the president and the first lady and the second gentleman, I said, you know, one thing that is designed to do is to begin to build relationships. But in this case, President Biden spent about 40 years building relationships and understanding how this process worked. And I think he gave plenty of indications of that today. And he also clearly understands that if we all agreed on everything, there'd be no reason to have elections or a Congress. And I think he's eager to work together. I hope so, because there are things that we can do together, and there are things that we will disagree on. But I thought it was a good start.
What are the things you can do together?
Well, you know, we can learn what we learned from the pandemic and move forward with that. I had a July hearing on this where I asked the administration, including the CDC, what do you need? What's your plan? What's your distribution plan? Surely we don't have to wait until we have a vaccine to have a plan. And I think the relationship maybe between the federal government and the states in that situation didn't work as well as it could. But any way you cut it, we are a couple of years ahead of where anybody would have thought we would be on the vaccine. What did we learn from that? What did we learn about the broadband needs of the country when many kids have been virtually at school for a long time. People for the first time got the benefits of some telehealth that they weren't able to get before. That's something we take out of that. Clearly, infrastructure, the great white whale of really the last 8 years. We were always going to find a way to move forward on infrastructure. But if you're going to build an economy, one of our great advantages of a country is where we're located, and infrastructure is what knits all of that together. I think there are plenty of things to work together on. I'm sure we'll find plenty of things we disagree on, but that's what this process is all about. And I think the president and the vice president both have every reason to understand that's how this works. I thought he got off to a good start today. I thought, frankly, asking the former presidents to go with him to Arlington was a great moment. Just like it was great to have President Bush, Vice President Pence, and Vice President Quayle here today, as we would hope they would be.
So was it a mistake for President Trump not to attend?
I think it was. I think it was a personal mistake on his part. But everybody gets to make those decisions, and it's the first time in 152 years a president that could be here for the inauguration wasn't here. But I think we moved right through that. I think if it would have been a bigger problem if Vice President Pence hadn't chosen to be here. And you know, he understood the importance of the moment, the location, just like 2 weeks ago. He understood how important it is we get back into the Senate chamber that day And he and Senator Klobuchar and I were three of the principals in finishing the work of the electoral count. The Vice President understood we need to get back in there. We need to do it here. We don't want to leave the Capitol, and we're going to let the whole world see our work done where it should be done. And here today, the whole world, tens of millions of people in the country and out of the country watch this. Other people will watch it over the next 24 hours. I looked at my phone just before I got on with you, and during the event, somebody texted me from Cairo. We're watching live in Cairo right now. So this is an important moment for us to project who we are, why we are who we are, and who we hope to be.
A majority of your colleagues, your Senate colleagues, also believe that the president should be held accountable in some serious way for the events of 2 weeks ago at the Capitol. You even heard your Senate Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, say that the president clearly provoked that mob. Do you agree with that, and do you think he should be held accountable?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think you're held accountable for your actions. Whether it's impeachment is a proper accountability for somebody who's left office or not, I've been 100% focused on the inauguration for the last 10 days or so, and I'm going to begin to think about what comes up after this later this afternoon.
Senator Blunt, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.